Hey folks, I have some very, very, very alarming news here concerning Ebola. Um, it's very concerning to say that Ebola is officially in New York City. It comes by way of this doctor named Craig Spencer, and apparently he was one of the doctors that for Doctors Without Borders that went to Africa to help treat other people, but came back. They said he has been, taking the subway. He went to Highline Park, and he went bowling the few days before he got ill. Um, uh, you know, they said that he quarantined himself in his Harlem apartment and reported himself to authorities when he got the first sign of some symptoms, which is like 103-degree fever. Just really, to be honest, I was sort of I'm sort of not surprised because it's almost inevitable for a disease as wide ranging as this and as infectious as this to reach a big city, one of the largest city in America actually, which is New York City, just because of the sheer number of people here, and just because of the sheer number of people in New York and the sheer number of people coming into contact with each other. Um, it's really concerning, actually. I mean, I read, courtesy of MSN.com, I read that uh, you know the mayor and everybody else is saying calm down, but it's it's to be honest, it's probably just a way of not really alarming people. But I personally would be alarmed. I would be very alarmed because this Ebola has a rate of a mortality rate of 60 to 90%, which is basically just really really concerning. Um, which brings me back to my video before, many days ago, where I said, you know what, when I first heard about this, I mean, the common sense thing to do would be to just ban all the flights going to Africa, and especially coming from Africa. I mean, that's that would be one of the first common sense things to do. And I personally disagree with what authorities are saying when they say that it's not effective to ban flights. I mean, I completely disagree with that because you know what? How did it get here and into other countries in the first place? By flight, right? It's just really they should really just ban um, people going to Africa and coming from Africa, especially coming from Africa. It doesn't matter what route they're taking. If they're coming from Africa, they should be banned or at least go through some sort of screening. It's really frustrating to hear all this stuff in the news and how incompetent the government is. Um, yeah. So anyway, just as a recap, folks, just please be very careful, especially around the subways. I wouldn't even be be doubting, or I wouldn't really think twice about having wearing a mask or anything like that. Just be very careful. A recap of this is how Ebola spreads. Ebola spreads through bodily fluids, direct contact with bodily fluids. That includes, you know, um, semen, blood, saliva, basically any bodily fluid. So it's highly contagious. Please, folks, just protect yourselves. And you know, as for the authorities, they're not being competent at all. They're really incompetent, really. And I really hope they get their act together and just try to contain this as fast as possible because it is officially in New York now. It is officially in a big city. It's a city of 8 million people, and I just heard the other day that New York City just broke a record of having the most people take the subway a couple days ago, which was 6 million people taking the subway. And in a subway, in a subway car, you're all confined to one space, so it's really close quarters. And like I said before, I'm not really surprised because it's almost like a statistical inevitability to have something like this reach New York City. But I really hope the authorities to, come to their senses and start banning flights and start screening people because the job they're doing right now is not it's not satisfactory at all. All right, folks, take care of yourself, and hopefully we get this thing contained. Peace.